Have you ever felt like your energy is fading faster than it used to? Maybe you're more tired after a walk than you used to be, or it takes longer for you to recover after doing a simple task around the house. These changes are something we all experience as we age, but what if there's a more specific reason behind them? What if there's an underlying health condition that's quietly creeping up on you? As we grow older, it becomes even more important to pay attention to our bodies and any changes we might notice. One condition that can often go unnoticed is type 2 diabetes. It can develop slowly, and in its early stages, the symptoms may not be so obvious. But ignoring the signs can lead to serious complications down the road. In fact, for those of us over 60, it's crucial to be extra vigilant. The good news is, with early detection, type 2 diabetes is manageable, and sometimes even preventable. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 warning signs of type 2 diabetes that you should never ignore once you're past 60. These signs may seem subtle at first, but if you catch them early, you can take action and make sure you're on the right track to better health. We'll walk through each sign and give you some simple tips to stay ahead of the game. Let's start with the first one. Have you noticed that you're going to the bathroom more often than you used to? More specifically, are you finding yourself waking up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, even when you haven't been drinking a lot of fluids before bed? Frequent urination is a common early sign of type 2 diabetes. When your blood sugar is too high, your kidneys work overtime to try to filter out the excess sugar, and that can result in you needing to pee more often. It might not seem like a big deal, but if you're noticing it happening frequently, it's something to pay attention to. This can be especially concerning if it's affecting your sleep. Getting up several times a night to use the bathroom can leave you feeling exhausted the next day, which can then affect your mood and overall quality of life. If this sounds familiar, it's worth talking to your doctor to rule out any potential issues, including diabetes. The second sign to watch for is increased thirst. Have you ever felt like you just can't quench your thirst, no matter how much you drink? It's not just about the amount of fluid you're drinking, it's more about the constant need for it. When your blood sugar is too high, your body tries to get rid of the excess sugar by producing more urine, which leads to dehydration. And when you're dehydrated, your body naturally craves more water to make up for the lost fluids. If you're finding yourself reaching for the water bottle more than usual, or if you're drinking large amounts of water but never quite feeling satisfied, it might be worth considering as a possible symptom of type 2 diabetes. The good news is that drinking plenty of water can help with this, but if you're still feeling thirsty despite drinking more, it's time to consult with your healthcare provider. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about how these two signs, frequent urination and excessive thirst, are connected. They both point to one thing: your body is struggling to maintain balance. In the case of diabetes, this could mean your blood sugar levels are out of control. The next thing to look out for is something a bit more subtle, but still just as important. Have you noticed unexplained weight loss, even though your eating habits haven't changed much? It's not unusual for weight loss to happen when we're under stress or dealing with life changes, but if you're losing weight without trying, it could be a sign of something more serious. With type 2 diabetes, your body isn't able to properly process the food you eat. Instead of converting it into energy, your body may begin to break down muscle and fat for fuel. So, if you're losing weight unexpectedly, it's important to take note of that, especially if it's happening alongside the other signs we've already talked about. Weight loss might sound like a good thing to some, but if it's happening without any effort, it's your body's way of signaling that something isn't right. It could be a warning sign that your blood sugar levels are not under control, and that's something that needs attention. Now that we've talked about these first few signs, it's important to remember that while these can point to diabetes, they don't always mean you have it. However, if you're experiencing any of these symptoms consistently, don't ignore them. In the next part, we'll dive into a couple more warning signs and talk about some simple steps you can take to stay on top of your health. Let's keep this conversation going and make sure you're taking control of your health, because you deserve to feel your best, no matter your age. Stay with me as we explore the rest of these signs. Now, let's talk about another warning sign of type 2 diabetes that many people overlook, and that's blurry vision. Have you ever noticed that your vision isn't as sharp as it used to be? Maybe your reading glasses don't seem to work as well, or it's harder to see the fine print on a menu. Blurry vision can happen when your blood sugar is elevated for a long period of time. The high blood sugar can cause the lens in your eye to swell, which distorts your vision. If you're experiencing this, it might come and go, but it's definitely something to take seriously. Many people dismiss blurry vision as a normal part of aging, but if it's happening frequently or worsening over time, it could be a signal that your blood sugar levels need to be checked. Luckily, managing your blood sugar can often help with this issue, and once it's under control, your vision may improve as well. Of course, it's important to see your eye doctor if you notice any changes in your eyesight, because blurry vision can be a sign of more than just diabetes, but it's definitely worth checking in with your healthcare provider. Now, the next sign we're going to discuss is fatigue. If you've been feeling tired all the time, even after a good night's sleep, that could be another sign that your body isn't processing sugar properly. Fatigue is one of the most common symptoms of type 2 diabetes, and it's linked to the fact that your body isn't using glucose, which comes from the food you eat, as energy. Instead, your cells are starved for energy, and that leaves you feeling drained, even after resting. If you find yourself taking longer naps or feeling more sluggish than usual, it might be time to talk to your doctor about getting a blood sugar test. It's easy to brush off fatigue as just a normal part of aging, but when it's paired with some of the other symptoms we've talked about, it's definitely something to look into. And even though it's normal to feel tired sometimes, persistent and unexplained fatigue could mean your blood sugar levels are out of balance. As you can see, these signs can be really subtle, and it's easy to write them off as just part of getting older. But when you experience a combination of symptoms, like blurry vision, fatigue, frequent urination, and excessive thirst, it's time to take action. You don't want to wait until things get worse, especially since the earlier you catch these symptoms, the easier it can be to manage diabetes and prevent complications. Now, let's move on to another warning sign: slow healing sores or cuts. Have you noticed that a small cut or scrape takes longer to heal than it used to? If that's the case, you might be dealing with high blood sugar levels. Elevated blood sugar can impair your body's ability to heal, and this can be particularly concerning if you have a wound that's not healing properly. Diabetics are more prone to infections because high blood sugar can reduce blood flow, making it harder for the body to deliver nutrients to the area that needs to heal. If you've had a minor wound or injury that's taking longer than usual to heal, it's a good idea to pay attention. In some cases, chronic high blood sugar can even lead to serious infections that require medical attention. Don't wait for things to get worse. Take care of any cuts or sores right away, and if you notice that they're taking longer than usual to heal, talk to your healthcare provider. Remember, these symptoms may seem small on their own, but together, they're your body's way of telling you something's not quite right. The earlier you take action, the better you can manage your health and prevent long-term complications. In the next part, we'll dive into the last warning sign of type 2 diabetes, and we'll also talk about some steps you can take to protect your health and keep your blood sugar levels in check. Don't go anywhere, we're almost there. We've covered a lot of ground so far, and now we're down to the last warning sign of type 2 diabetes that you should never ignore after 60. It might not be as obvious as the other signs, but it's just as important: numbness or tingling in your hands or feet. Have you ever felt like your feet or fingers are falling asleep more often than usual? Maybe there's a tingling sensation that just won't go away. This could be a sign of nerve damage, a condition called diabetic neuropathy, which is common in people with poorly controlled blood sugar levels. Diabetic neuropathy occurs when high blood sugar levels damage the nerves, leading to sensations like numbness, tingling, or even pain in the extremities. It's especially common in the feet, but it can also affect the hands. If you're noticing these symptoms, it's important to pay attention because, over time, nerve damage can become more severe. If left untreated, it can lead to serious complications, including balance problems or even infections that go unnoticed because of the numbness. The good news is that early detection and management can help prevent or slow the progression of nerve damage. If you're experiencing tingling or numbness in your hands or feet, it's worth bringing up with your healthcare provider so you can address it before it becomes more problematic. Managing your blood sugar and taking steps to improve your circulation can make a big difference in slowing down nerve damage and keeping your body functioning at its best. Now that we've covered all 5 warning signs, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. If any of these symptoms sound familiar to you, whether it's frequent urination, excessive thirst, blurry vision, unexplained weight loss, slow healing sores, or numbness and tingling, don't panic. The key is to pay attention to your body and listen to what it's telling you. These signs might seem minor on their own, but together, they could be your body's way of saying, "Hey, something's not right. And the earlier you act, the better your chances of preventing more serious complications. So, what can you do to take charge of your health? First and foremost, if you're experiencing any of these warning signs, it's time to talk to your doctor. Getting a blood sugar test is a simple and effective way to see if you're at risk for type 2 diabetes. Even if you don't have diabetes, catching things early can help prevent the condition from developing or worsening. In addition to seeing your doctor, there are several things you can do every day to support healthy blood sugar levels. Start by eating a balanced diet that includes plenty of whole foods like vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Try to reduce your intake of sugary snacks and drinks, which can cause your blood sugar to spike. Regular physical activity, like walking or swimming, is also key to keeping your blood sugar in check and improving overall health. If you haven't been as active as you'd like, don't worry, it's never too late to start. Even small changes can make a big difference. Lastly, it's important to monitor your blood sugar regularly if you're at risk or already diagnosed with diabetes. Your healthcare provider can guide you on how often to check your levels and what steps to take to manage them. Remember, diabetes is not a death sentence, and it doesn't mean you can't live a full, healthy life. With the right care and attention, type 2 diabetes can be managed, and you can continue to enjoy life to the fullest. The most important thing is that you don't ignore the warning signs. Listen to your body, and take action when needed. Before we wrap up, I want to encourage you to leave a comment below if you've had any experiences with managing your blood sugar or if you've noticed any of the signs we talked about today. Sharing your story could help others who are going through the same thing. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel for more useful tips on maintaining your health as you age. Here's to living your best life, no matter your age. Taking control of your health and staying aware of these warning signs can make all the difference. You've got this. Stay strong, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.